Hello Stampers! I've got a long card for you today. This fits perfectly inside of one of the new Slimline envelopes from Stampin' Up! And it gives you lots of room for those large panels that you want to make. So we're going to make a panel today, and we're going to be using a couple of stamp sets. The first one is the Birds and Branches stamp set from Stampin' Up! I have used this so much and it's been so popular. It's in the annual catalog. Again, it's called Birds and Branches, and it is 2 and 3 step stamping on these birds, so you don't have to do any coloring on them. And I'm also going to be using the Wildflower Path stamp set from Stampin' Up! This is in the new mini catalog, the January through June mini catalog, and that's going to give us these vines right here. I know you can use these, upright, but my thought was, why not just turn them upside down and you can use them as vines also. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start with our large panel. It's 3.5 by 8 and basic white. All the measurements for these panels are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them there, along with all the product links. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can order from me 24/7, and I have some great benefits for my customers, and that's all listed below the video too. So we're going to get started with a blending brush and some balmy blue ink. And we're going to add some color to our background. And we're going to do it along the top here. I'm just using a circular motion with this balmy blue. I'm not worried that you can see circles in my work. I actually prefer that as opposed to a solid color, because it gives you some movement in your sky. And I'm going down a bit, 2/3 of the way down the right side of the panel also, just to get some variation in this background here. So that was balmy blue. I love this project because it's totally all blending the background and then stamping our images. Not much fussing going on in this one. So now I have some Saffron, and I'm gonna just blend in the Saffron around the balmy blue. I don't want to go into the balmy blue because yellow and blue make green, and we don't want a green sky, else it starts looking like tornado weather, right? So we're just going to go up and meet the blue and not go into it. So that was Saffron. Okay, so now we're going to put in our long branch. I like to put this in first. And we have this stamp here, and this is out of the Birds and Branches stamp set. And we're going to be using it on our clear acrylic block, and we're going to bend it. So I have it bent like in a curve here, and that's going to help us get that branch to come down the way we want it to. So I have it bent a bit, and there we go. And I'm going to use soft suede to stamp this branch in. So I'm going to stamp my first one up here at the top, and I'm going to come off that top right. There's once, and we're going to connect these by just overlapping them a bit. And we're going to do that all the way down. I think that's good. And then I'm going to take this little piece of branch that's in the same set, the Birds and Branches, and I'm going to add a little more of these branches around here. Just a bit. Okay. That was also with soft suede. And now we're going to go to Granny Apple Green. And there's this little stamp in the Birds and Branches stamp set, and it has 2 little leaves put together. And that's what we're going to use. And we're going to add just a few leaves on our branch here with this Granny Apple Green. You don't have to put it on every part that's sticking out. You can leave some of them with no leaf. Let's see, maybe one right here. And where we've overlapped them, it kind of looks like just a node sticking out on this branch coming down. Okay, so there's our little leaves that we put on there. And next we're going to use this plant here. And this comes out of the Wildflower Path stamp set. And it's the one, it's the thinner one. One's kind of thick and the other one's thin. We're using the thin one out of this set. And the Granny Apple Green also for this. And like that branch, we're just going to stamp it and then ink up again and overlap a bit and stamp it again. Okay? So we're going to do this to make 4 hanging down branches. Or hanging down vines, I should say. And here we go. You can overlap them more so you have them at different lengths, so they're not just all the same length there. You can start a little further up. Overlap. There we go. So that's just how easy that vine is to put in. Pretty cool, huh? That excited me. And now we're going to add some flowers to these vines. And this has, this is also out of the Wildflower Path stamp set. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little teeny flowers. And you can just stamp these along your vines. You don't have to worry about trying to place them any. There we go. And there's our background all in. So now it's time to stamp our bird out. Birds, I should say. And I'm going to set our background to the side here. And this is just a scrap piece of white. And we're going to stamp our solid birds. There's one going facing right, one facing left. And we're going to use pumpkin pie, the same color that we stamped the flowers in. We're going to stamp our birds in. And so there's one background. And there's the other one facing the other direction. And now we're going to bring that soft suede back out. And we're going to stamp the detail part of these birds. There's one for each one. And we're going to stamp it with soft suede, overlapping these. There's one. And if they're not overlapped perfectly, it's okay because we're going to cut these out. And we're going to follow the dark image when we cut them out. See, aren't they cute? Got that little orange flare to them. Before I cut them out, I'm going to take a white chalk marker and I'm just going to put a dot, a tiny little speck of a dot in the eye, just to bring it forward and give it a little highlight. So now I'm just going to take a pair of paper snips and cut our little birds out, and we're going to follow the dark, we're going to follow the soft suede part of the image. cut our little birds out. So that's why it's okay that they don't line up exactly. So there's one of our little birds. There we go, and there's our other bird. And so now we're ready to put that, glue these on our branch. I'm going to put the one that's facing right on first. Just put it along that branch there. And then we'll add our other one a little further down. This is a fun project. Comes together pretty quick. There we go. We got our two birds on the branch. And there's our main panel all finished. Comes together so fast. Okay, so now we're going to put our card together. And our card base is soft suede, and it's 7.5 by 8 3/4, and then you fold it in half. So there's our card base. Inside I put a pumpkin pie panel that's 3.5 by 8.5, and a Saffron panel that's 3 by 8 1/4. On the outside here I have a pumpkin pie panel that's 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. And then we're going to add our main image panel to the front. Let's add some love in there. There we go. And there's our card all finished. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you for joining me. Bye.